This carburetor is off a 1999 Mercury 2-stroke, and it is a 9.9 horsepower carburetor. Before we get started, I'd like to note that there should be a plate that sits right on top of the carburetor right here. You can see the gasket. Unfortunately, that plate had to stay on my boat because it's got the electric choke right here. I believe that's what that is. So I just want to make note of that, and you can see the orientation of the gasket and how it's supposed to be on there, but I don't have that plate. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by taking the mixture screw out. Also, I'd like to say you're going to need an 11 millimeter, a 13 millimeter, a Phillips, and a flat blade screwdriver. Now, before you remove your mixture screw, it's a good idea to take it in all the way and make sure you count how many turns out that it was. Now, when you turn it all the way in, make sure you don't go too tight. Just kind of get a little snug there. But generally, they are about a turn and a half out, somewhere right in that area. But yours might be different. So before you take it all the way out, just run it all the way in. And again, make sure you count. Another thing you're going to want to have is you're going to want to have a nice clean container to put your parts in. And once you're done taking it apart, you're going to want some carb cleaner to clean everything up. There's a little spring behind this needle. You want to inspect your needle, make sure everything looks good there. All right, next, let's take the bowl off the bottom. For that, you're going to need a 13 millimeter wrench and counterclockwise. Now, before we take the bowl off, actually, you're going to see as you take this bottom screw off, or bolt, whatever you want to call it, this is actually your main jet. So you can see your main jet right there. Let's go ahead and take that apart. This is definitely something you're going to want to inspect and make sure you don't have any debris, make sure it's not clogged up, no deposits or anything like that, and give this a good spray with carb cleaner. So that's your main jet. This has a 048, I believe, on it. So that must be what size jet you need for a 10 horsepower carburetor. There's also a gasket on here, you can see. It's busted. That's okay, I got a rebuild kit coming. Alright, where's the... Okay, now we can take the bowl off. So let's take the bowl off. And let's start taking apart this diaphragm right here. This is your primer. And I know for a fact this is bad. There's going to be a spring underneath of this. So just make sure you know there's going to be a little bit of tension underneath here. So you might want to hold on to it. Yep. There's your spring. Throw that in there. And screws. And then diaphragm, you can see the cracks. This diaphragm is no good. This should be an 11 millimeter. Again, there's going to be a spring underneath of this. So just make note of that as you're loosening it. There's a little spring. And again, there's a gasket on this. And once again, you're going to want to spray all this down with carb cleaner. Now, in here, you're going to see there's actually a BB. Sometimes this pops right out. Yeah, there we go. You can see that little BB. Make sure you don't lose that. Put that in a safe spot. So other than just cleaning this up real good, we're done with the bowl. I lied. I like to have one more tool on hand other than the ones I mentioned, and that is just a small pick, and that's just to get this gasket out of there. This is the gasket for your bowl. And here we have our float. You can see which direction it goes. Just like that. Then if we lift this up, there's going to be a little needle right here. It's going to drop out. maybe. Maybe not. Let's see if I can pull it out. Maybe we need needle nose. So after that needle is out, better inspect these. Just make sure that these are moving. This is moving freely and not bent or anything like that or damaged. Looks pretty good. After that, we can take our fuel pump assembly off. So we need a Phillips screwdriver for that. And once again, this is going to have some spring tension underneath of it. So just kind of maybe hold your thumb over it. It's nothing extreme. It's not like things are going to go shooting across the garage on you or anything, but just in case. Now we can remove the cover. And this is a diaphragm, as you can see. Here's the spring that I was talking about. Oops, it fell out there. And the gasket. And that's pretty much it. That's the whole disassembly. After this, you're going to want to take carb cleaner and just really get in all these little holes and crevices and just really clean all these parts, everything in here, the carb itself, clean it out really good. And then my rebuild kit hasn't arrived yet, but I'll make another video about that. Thanks.